I'm Brad.
I'm Mike, and behind the scenes we have Bob, and together we're the most famous physical therapy team on the internet.
Well, in our opinion, of course, Mike.
And if you are new to our channel, make sure to subscribe. We appreciate all of you joining our community. Now, the topic of the day is, do you wake up having back, shoulder, or neck pain? Because Brad certainly is right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to talk and actually take a trip down memory lane. We have a video that has viewed by millions and very appreciative of our tips. Plus, we're going to show a couple new tips at the end of the video to amend it.
So, go back in time.
Woo, 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 woo.
Bob and Brad, the two most famous physical therapists on the internet.
It's not that easy. We just can't say, don't do this and don't do that.
We got to give them reason.
We're here for a little education so that once you become educated, you understand, and then you do. There's a whole philosophy on that, but we don't want to get into that. But the biggest areas that are complaints of pain are neck, shoulder, and back. Right. Those are probably the most common areas that become irritated and painful throughout the night. So we've got to take care of this and address it and understand a little bit. First of all, joints in general, whether it's the joints in your spine or your shoulders, or your back, or whatever it may be, your neck, want to stay in what we call the loose packed position.
Right. They don't like being at the end range.
Right. So my shoulder here would be loose packed. Up here would be end range.
Right.
Okay.
Or back here would be end range.
Right.
So I wouldn't sleep like this either.
Right. So neck, if we put our neck over to one side this way or one side that way, all the joints in your neck are pushed to the end range, we call it, and that's uncomfortable after a period of time. Initially, it may not be a problem, but you hold your neck over like this for 20 minutes or more, it becomes uncomfortable. So keeping that in mind, the next thing we want to do is look at the spine. And not just look at it, but understand the spine moves and it twists and whatnot, but we want to keep it in a neutral position, Bob.
Correct.
Okay, so a neutral position is actually where there's a little curve in the back here. There's a curve in the other direction in the...
So we've got a curve in, curve out, curve in.
Right.
Yep.
So we want to
kind of an S shape.
Yep. Keep these curves in that kind of a general shape,
Yep.
So we're not going way out. And if you look at it from the front view, now that typically want to keep straight.
Right.
So the curves are looking from the side, and this is looking straight. So this will all come into play when we look at our positioning with sleeping. So. Anything else that I missed?
No, you got it right,
Okay,
Brad.
so let's look at the position, for once. Well, it happens. I was up studying late last night on this one. So the first position is we're going to talk about prone, laying on your stomach.
So this is a bad position.
Right. This is a position because it breaks a number of the rules we just talked about that create pain, gets you out of that neutral position, or puts you at end range. So if I'm going to lay here, and let's just take a regular pillow, Bob.
Sure.
And there are people who sleep prone, and they have for a while, and they do okay with it. But the problem that can really occur when you're on your stomach, you almost have to have your head one position over to the right or to the left, and that puts my neck at end range, and I'm laying there for a long period of time. Now, I'm assuming people who sleep like this that don't have pain throughout the night turn their head right to left.
Well, the other thing is, though, and I didn't see a study on this, but we did do kind of an informal survey of this at a classroom one time. We asked how many people have headaches.
Yep.
And 100% of the people that laid on their stomach had headaches.
Sure.
During the,
throughout the day?
Throughout the day or throughout the week, had a higher incidence of headaches.
Sure.
So that's something to consider, is that if you are, especially having those headaches that start from back here, the neck headaches, that's one of the things I would definitely look into.
And I think, if you're a prone sleeper, you may or may not have a pillow. I guess without a pillow, it puts you more in a neutral position, but still, if you can avoid the prone position for your neck, it's going to be better. And then the other thing is if you lay in your stomach and with your shoulders, if you lay like this, that puts your shoulders at end range, and it also puts your brachial plexus at, they can get pinched off and actually cut the circulation off into your arms or pinch the nerves, and you can wake up with numb or tingling nerves.
One time I woke up both my arms were numb to the point I couldn't, and I was trying to turn the alarm off, so I'm going like this. It's just not,
Yeah.
it's a little embarrassing.
Right. So, and that's, you know, there's a name for that, Bob.
What is it?
When you put your arms up like this, working overhead.
Sure, what is it?
I can't remember.
I know there's honeymoon syndrome where if your spouse falls asleep on your arm and
Right.
that becomes numb then.
Right.
So,
So
all right.
next position, Bob. I'll think of that in just a little bit.
All right.
Sideline. Now this is, you might say, well, everyone sidelines, or
Right.
most people do, which I do myself. But oftentimes a shoulder problem will happen when you're laying on the point of your shoulder, if you will. Well, and the joint, when you relax, you can sublux or actually push the ball, the joint, shoulder joint out slightly, and can put pressure on the ligaments and the capsule, et cetera, in your shoulder and cause pain. So laying like this on the shoulder can really create some pain. So what you'll want to do is pull this shoulder out a little bit, so you're actually on a little bit of a slant here
And you
versus
actually got-
here.
yeah, then you're getting more on the meaty part of the shoulder that can handle
Right.
it on the back
Yep.
there.
And that's going to help reduce that. So the sideline
The other
can
thing
be a
is-
problem, but if you do these little twerks that we're talking about, it'll help you out.
We can show another
tremendously.
thing for that too. But Brad, the other thing, while you're in this position, the other thing is your back is sagging a little bit.
Sure.
When you're in this sideline position.
Yeah, let's get the spine out and
So-
show that.
So here, it's straight, but now it's going to sag a little bit right here in the low back.
Yeah, right
And
up.
so if you're having back problems, and especially if you sleep like this a lot all the time, you should take like a rolled towel, like we did here, and you can put it in that position. Or there's actually a sleep roll you can buy.
Yeah.
We have it in our Amazon section there by Mackenzie. And this one you can actually tie around your waist. So it's in your back when you sleep on your back, or it's on your side when you sleep on your side.
Right, yep.
So-
And you know, in my case, I know I can sleep on my side for about 10 minutes. I never even get to sleep because my back starts to hurt. Then I have to go to my back. But that's just because of my spondylolisthesis. So this is how this works. This one's a little bit small for me. It doesn't wrap around. But people who have a disc problem often use something like this, so that here you have the support on your low back in the lordotic section, and then when you roll to either side, you also have that hollow spot being filled in.
There's another possibility, Brad, here besides it being too small for you. Maybe your waist is too big for it.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just pointing out that possibility.
Should
Let me-
we show them the trick with the pillows?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Let's go this right here. So
Yeah.
this is a cervical pillow here. But another way, I'm going to put this on this side, Brad, just for my mic purposes here. So, generally when you're on your side, if you're going to lay on your side, you want to have a thicker pillow so
Yep.
that your neck isn't going like, want to take it out once, Brad? It isn't going like this.
Right.
You want to have your neck right in the middle too. So this is almost a little bit
Yeah, this one would
Yeah.
actually need to go up a little bit.
right. So, but the other key, we've showed this many times, is actually you take a pillow. A lot of times it's more of a throw pillow, and that's what I use.
Sure.
And I just create the little canal here.
Yep.
And you can put your arm right in there, and now there's not nearly the pressure on your
Sure.
shoulder there was before.
So this is that sideline, making sideline tolerable and acceptable to keep the shoulder pain from waking you up.
And now if you're having pain in this shoulder and you don't want to lay on it, which is good, then you should actually, besides the canal, well, you might not even need the canal.
Right.
But you would put a pillow here and another pillow here and support the arm
Right,
like this.
right.
And again, it puts that shoulder in that loose packed position that Brad was talking about. It's not any end range, and it's kind of a little bit forward.
Sure.
And it's not going across the body like this, which is also bad.
Right, because
end
then you're
range.
getting towards that end range
Yeah.
and,
Right-
irritating them.
Right here in the middle. That's where you want to keep it, and it's going to do it well.
Right, and the last thing is sideline. A lot of people will get a pillow like this that actually has the form, and it's a memory foam.
All right, so it'll get put in, and there's a gap for the neck.
Right,
I mean,
so you
there's
get
a
the
place
neck in
to-
a neutral position.
Sure.
And that's not necessary. You can use a regular pillow. And some people, I'll have some people try just a towel roll to fill in that gap to get that neutral position in the neck.
So if I lay here now with the towel roll, see how it really cradles my neck nicely.
Right.
So, and now we don't have the neck sagging either. at all.
Right.
So that's
Get
actually pretty comfortable.
Yeah, if this works, but it's not quite as cushy, you may want to invest in the memory foam. They cost a little more, but
Or there's the cervical roll too.
oh yeah,
We got all sorts of good.
yeah.
This is
There's a lot of things to keep you comfortable.
Mackenzie makes a roll here, cervical, we can put it in there.
Sure.
And if you find the towel works well and you don't want to keep using a towel, you can go and get one of those.
Right. So what it boils down to, we got two positions to avoid: the prone, which we don't have any solutions for, and sideline, which we have a number of solutions for that we just went through. So, we're helping you out at least on half of the.
We're half smart.
Right.
So.
Whoa! And the time machine returns to 2024, and we have Mike with us today. These are in for 3 positions that weren't mentioned in that film, and Bob said we've got to mention these to make this updated. Mike, what are the 3?
Well, it's only 2 positions, but 3 remedies. So first 2 are for stomach sleepers, and then we got side lying. So the first one, if you are a stomach sleeper, but you are having some hip or low back pain, take another pillow, place it under your waist, and you're going to lay on that pillow there. What does this do, Brad?
Well, it actually flexes the hip and the low back. If you have stenosis in particular, like myself, this makes a tremendous amount of difference in comfort. Simply put it there, adjust it up and down where it feels comfortable, and you'll know because it'll just feel a night and day difference if that's what you need. And what about the neck?
If you're having some neck pain in your stomach sleeper, I typically use 2 pillows. I sleep in all positions because I'm a weirdo. Anyway, you place this here. You don't want your neck to be cranked all the way to 90 degrees like this. I've woken up like this, and it's very uncomfortable. So oftentimes, if you put another pillow kind of underneath your chin, I'm more at a 45-degree angle, and I'm half talking in the pillow right now, so don't mind me. It's much more comfortable. Obviously, you can't sleep like that, so 45-degree angle if you're having some neck discomfort and your stomach sleeper.
Right. We don't say cranked. We say rotated, Mike. This is a family show and a therapy show.
It's a medical term, cranked.
Anyways.
The last one, if you're having some hip pain, side hip pain in your side sleeper, what you can try to do is place a pillow underneath your rib cage, kind of above the hip, anyway. And then you can also put a pillow underneath your foot. This is going to help rotate your hip in a different way, taking the pressure off your lateral side.
That's right. A lot of these will help get the spine back into neutral, whether it's in the low back or the neck, making it much more comfortable so you can sleep in a relaxed position.
Now, if you watch this whole video, we would like to know, comment down below your favorite sleeping position, because we're very curious, aren't we?
Right. Or if you've got another hint that other people will benefit from, make sure you to let us know about that as well, so we help each other out. And we've got another video that will be helpful as well with more detail.
Yeah, so if you're having shoulder pain, I don't think we addressed it much in the old video or this one. You can click the video link on the screen, how to stop shoulder pain in bed.
That's right. And the famous Bob's Erie Canal theory and method to eliminate shoulder pain. And that's what he uses. So if you want to find out what it is, check it out. It's very, very new.
No water is involved.